sky has never felt this close, and when you kiss me, I can't believe that I am yours and you are mine. You took the pain away, didn't mind my scars, mend my broken heart. Life was dull until you came, now I see in color again. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you, to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind, 'cause I'm right next to you. It's you, right next to you, to you, next to you, next to you, next to you. Who would have thought I'd be up on cloud nine? I would never take our love for granted. Love how you make me feel alive when you're with me. Took the pain away, didn't mind my scars and my broken heart. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you, to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind, 'cause I'm right next to you. It's you, right next to you, to you, next to you, next to you, next to you.
Well, hello, Plannerets. How are you? Are you good? Thank you so much for joining me today on my Monday, 5:30 a.m. And happy Sunday to you, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do some artistic and creative stuff. So I am a newbie, so don't be shy. Don't get all intimidated because I am new to it, or I tried it, I dabbled in, as you would have seen in the title of the live stream for today, hand lettering. So let's quickly have a look at who is here today. Hello there, Marsha. How are you? Are you a good day? Oh, are you a good day? Are you having a good day? I made my coffee earlier. This one. And I forgot to put, we have an espresso machine. Forgot to put a cup or a mug underneath. And so it started brewing with no cup underneath it. And I went, no, no, Marianne, this is not a sign of how your day is going to be. Don't let it ruin a day. So now I was just saying hello to Martian and saying, hello, are you a good day? How are you, Becky? How are you from Germany? Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you being there. Karen from the Netherlands. Hello, hello. And Robin, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Angela from Italy, how are you? No, is it buongiorno? Yes, I think that's the Italian. Hello, buongiorno. May, hi everybody. Marsha says, great here in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia, GA is Georgia, USA. Please let me know. Thank you so much for you joining me today. Hang on a second. The voice has gone all croaky. Normally on a Monday morning, it is to be expected. Now, for those of you joining me on the replay, don't forget, you too can say hello in the chat and do let me know where you are tuning in from. I love to know where my beautiful plannerettes are watching me from. So I do appreciate it. Yes, GA is Georgia. Excellent. One day I'm going to learn all the states of the USA. Geography is not my best, suit. I was never good at it, but it's something that I would love to learn. I have to put that in my someday maybe things to learn. Becca, hello from Texas, first time joining. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome, welcome. Hooray. I do appreciate you being here. Look, we're going to get started because it's already 5 minutes into it. Well, 3 minutes of it, the countdown timer, but I want to make sure I get all the stuff that I think I want to show you done. So hello, Elle. Hi. How are you? Thank you so much. Hi, Becca. Oh, see, Becca. Everybody is welcoming here in the Marianne Crest world of the Plannerets. Okay, let me show you what I have got. Let me see if I can do this seamlessly. Okay, so as the title suggests, today is hand letter with me. So if you are one of those planners that want to try your hand at hand lettering, you know, the thick stroke on one side and then the thin stroke, then you can watch me either do a great job today practicing, or we fail and use it as a learning experience. Technically not a fail, but a learning experience. So I do appreciate that you will be patient with me. I just spat on my on my paper here. Do appreciate that you will be very, very patient and kind. And you're going to see that it's not that easy. All it is, it's all about practicing, right? Practice, because I thought when I first started hand lettering that once I get the correct tools, the right pens, bright brush pens, or the right paper, that suddenly it would miraculously, the hand lettering on my page will beautifully turn, beautiful. But no, it's about practicing. And even those who are who are expert at this, uh, started off the same way you and I would. So let's go. Today I'm going to use the Rhodia notebook. So this one is in A4. There's 160 pages of sheets, and it is a 90 GSM or 90 gram paper, and it is nice and smooth. So now, depending on the brush pens that you do use, I do have a few different ones here that I could show you, that you don't have to start off with the expensive brush pens and markers that I did when I first started to learn, because I thought I had to have the most expensive ones or the ones that the experts are using. But whatever you have that on hand, I'll show you that you can still use them. So I'll go through each and every one. Please do check the description for the link in my Amazon storefront for majority of the things that I do show you. If it's not there, I'll pop it in afterwards. So let's go. So paper as well. You can use just your normal copy paper. You can have 80 GSM, which is your normal, out of those 500 sheet photo paper that you would get. So they are a little bit thinner, so do be mindful that the pens you use may ghost or bleed on the other side. You also then get 100 GSM paper, 120, and then it gets thicker and thicker. I'll actually pop in the description as well a video I made on what best paper to use for printable planner printables. So of course, which means if you do use any brush or markers or highlighters that are quite pigmented, you want to make sure it's one that doesn't bleed through, so the ink goes through the paper and then onto the other paper, or what they call ghosting, where you can see the ink on the other side. And so if that's something that bothers you, then you might want to get thicker paper. So I explain in that video. It's called Best Paper to Use for Printable Planner Printables, but I will link it after the live stream. Are we good? Yeah. Okay. All right. So hand lettering is not the same as cursive writing. So cursive writing, let's see if I can, I did do some examples already, so then that way, I'm not taking up too much time. So cursive writing really essentially is you writing without lifting your pen or marker. Now, hand lettering is all about the different strokes. So you actually do a stroke at a time that form the letters. So, one letter, let's say the letter A, involves maybe 3 strokes. So what you do is you create a stroke, lift up your pen or marker, create the next stroke, and then lift, and then create the next one, which means you might have to position your hand differently, so then it creates the different thick and thin strokes on the paper. So I just want to put that cursive writing, when you're writing, you don't lift up your pen. So it's a continuous flow for majority of the words that you use. And see here, these are using the same markers or the same pen, but it has a different style effect. So this one really is just the tip of the marker. So I think I used the Pentel brush sign pen for this one. So you've got tiny little brush marker, so it's flexible, it's pointy. So the way I did the cursive is just one. So let me show you. It's let's say Monday. See how I didn't lift up my pen? And then for this one, essentially what I'm doing is one stroke, two stroke, three stroke, lift, five stroke. See how you're lifting up the pen. So when I first started, I thought, oh no, I didn't get it right because, the thick and the thin, I couldn't distinguish between the different sides because what I wasn't doing was I wasn't lifting up the pen. So just do be mindful. You're supposed to lift up your pen and your marker. You might hold it one way for one stroke this way, another way it might be this way. Okay, so if you are starting, just keep that in mind that no, you don't have to have the pen tip on the paper for the whole words. It's stroke by stroke by stroke by stroke. And today I'm going to show you the basic strokes that you need to use for hand lettering. And I'm going to practice with you right here today. Elle says, I am so excited for this handwriting class. I know, I'm like a handwriting teacher. And I had to quickly have a look at my old videos and my how I learnt it myself because I want to keep it simple because sometimes there are some beautiful tutorials out there, so please be mindful that there are, those who are more of an expert and probably better at teaching, but this is coming from a newbie. So sometimes, we get a little bit intimidated by someone else teaching us who are like too advanced, and then we do that comparison. So you can compare with me, a newbie, if you're a newbie too, okay? Yes, jumping up and down. Woohoo! Yay! May says jumping me. All right, okay. Now, here's a thing. So let me just show you the different strokes. I'm going to get my banner. So the first stroke is, we're going to get right into it. It's called upstrokes. So just remember, when you're hand lettering, when you go up, it's thin. When you go down, it's thick. Up, down, up, down. So if you can remember auditory as well when you are creating these strokes, then it might help you know that, when I go up, it's nice and light. When I go down, it's thick and bold. Okay, so if you chant with me later, that's probably going, what is Marianne going on chanting these things? So if you do join me later, I'm going to pop my fanorette. So it's my handheld cooling fan because I am feeling a little bit sweaty under my collar. Okay, so let's go do the upstrokes. Let's start a new page. See, I practiced my different strokes. Different strokes. Who used to watch the different strokes? What you talking about, Willis? Okay, so let's have a look. And I'm going to try as best as I can to use the different markers that I have on hand so you can see how it looks. So let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so upstroke. Now, the way you do these strokes is going to depend on whether you want to keep it, vertical or at a slant. So it's just really personal preference. Sometimes I actually like my strokes, my handwriting straight up and down because that's just the way my mind sees it, that up and down is a lot easier to keep consistent for me rather than, my writing on a slant. My writing angle might be one way is this one. And so aesthetically, when the letters are formed together, for me, all right, for me, it doesn't look as pleasing to my eye. Okay, so let's go. What have we got? May says, I'm going to hear your voice when I practice, Marianne. Yes. Light up, down, bold. Light, down, bold. All right, so upstrokes. Let's see. Can we zoom in a little bit more, please, Marianne? The audience. Okay, so up is, of course, you start from the bottom and go up. Okay, so it is, we're going to do 2 grids. So the rhodia, because this rhodia paper is gridded, it's actually a great guideline. So if you can find yourself a grid paper, it'll be really good. So the way you hold your pen is going to be up to you because, sometimes you can follow someone and you hold it and it doesn't feel natural and your wrist hurts. So just hold it the way you would that's comfortable in your hand. So normally I would point up. Oh, let's see if I can do this. I set up my camera, a different camera. Let's see if I can get this so then you can see it from a different angle. Let's see. Let's see if it'll work. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, it didn't work. I have to actually probably redo it. So bear with me. I lost everybody. I lost signal. I lost the signal for the camera I wanted to use. Let's bring this one back. I'm going to see if I can do it a little bit later. Okay, so upstroke. Oh, see. Can you bear with me? Bear with me. I'm going to put myself on mute. Let me put a music on. Got it working. You're so patient with me. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Is it 4:30? 5:30. 5:30. L. Okay. Thank you so much for being patient. Let me see if I can do this with the other camera so you can see the angle. I did have the camera all ready, but because I wanted to let people know on Instagram that I was coming on, I changed it. Let me see if this one will be better. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what live stream is all about. Look. Oh, where is it? See? Now you can see it at an angle. Isn't that fun? All right, so, okay, let's see if I can do this. So upstrokes, let's try it one more time. So what it is light up. So let's do 3. Light up, light up, light up. See how my pen is actually, instead of at an angle, it's more up and down. Okay, light up, light up, light up. So then that's if it's 2 grid. And then if you wanted to make teeny tiny, make sure I'm not on mute, teeny tiny strokes, then maybe you just want to do 1 grid length. So if you've got a smaller grid on your planner pages, so very, very tiny. So this one is the Pentel brush sign pen. They come in a pack, different packs. Do I have still the so this one I was gifted by Pentel Australia, so brush up sign pen in the pastel colors. So then I have them here. I won't change camera because then I might break something. So that's that one. So it's all going to be, did you know the different brush pens have different length brush, the softness of it? So this one is the Fudenosuke Tombow, and I think this one is the soft. So there is 2 versions, a blue one and a black one, and one is softer brush bristles than the other, and so I never know which is which until I'm actually using it. So these pens are sort of like the more popular ones, for especially for beginners. So the smaller the brush, of course, the smaller the type of strokes that you're going to be creating with it. I think this one, the black one, might be the soft tip, and then the blue one is the harder tip. Now I don't know which one is actually easier for a beginner, because I just pick it up and then, you know. So that's the Tombow Fudenosuke. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Then, of course, the popular ones that you might see around are the Tombow dual brush pens. Will that zoom in? Tombow, well, one side you've got the brush, and then the other side you've got the fine tip. So today we're going to use the brush tip, and as you can see, brush comparisons, it's bigger than your brush sign pen. Okay, so then of course, the bigger the brush, the bigger the letters. So let's see what this one looks like. Go, so light up, probably not the best color because you can't see it. Let's try this one. So light up, light up, light up, light up. You can't see it much. And guess what? If you have your kids' Crayola pen, this one is my young one's Silly Sense. And this one technically is not a brush tip. Let's pick one that is... The tip looks a little bit better, so this color doesn't get used much. See how it's not a brush tip? But you can use it for brush letterings. You'll see the effect of it more once we do the other stroke. But let's try it. So really it's brush up, brush, well, light up, light up, light up. See? You've got upstrokes. And a lot of the upstrokes are when you're going up, parts of your lettering that go up. Okay. May says that's what I have. Which one? The Fudenosuke? I have, oh, here we go, soft tip. Right, so yeah, the soft tip. I know, like I did write it down, but once it's written down, I don't know which is which. And sometimes when I'm using it already, I can't tell which one's which. So that's the upstrokes. What have I used most of the stuff? Oh, and the other one is even the kids' Crayola washable one. Now they make the downstroke because this one, the tip isn't flexible, so the downstrokes you may not get the same effect. But really all you want with the upstroke is nice, light weight on the paper, so you're not pressing. Okay, very, very fine. Now, of course, if you want your upstrokes or these type of strokes a little bit thicker, then you would go a little bit harder. See how I went a little bit harder? I think that's the thickness of that one though. Let's try the Fudenosuke. I think it was this one here. So let's say instead of that thin, maybe I'll press a little bit more with a little bit more weight onto, or pressure, sorry, on the pen when I'm doing that. Are we good with the upstrokes? Yes? So from the bottom to the top, light, 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 light. That's one stroke. If you're following along and you have a little brush pen, go and sing the song with me. Becca says, thank you for all this lovely information. Becca, you know why I know all these lovely information? Because I tried to emulate all the all the experts that do it, and then of course I would get so frustrated because mine would never turn out. And all it is just really the way you hold the pen. So when you're holding it, you know, when you're going to make thick, like the downstroke or thicker, it'll be at an angle. But then if it's thin, you're going to be doing it, you know, at a up and down pointy end. So you do the light this way and you do the thick this way. See how the angling of the pen. And guess what? Because it's not cursive writing and you don't have to keep your pen on the paper as you're writing, you are able to move your wrist, your hand, your pen, different angles to create the different strokes that you need. That, ladies and gentlemen, is upstrokes. Let us now do the downstrokes. What is my banner? One down, up, down, and that's all these hand lettering alphabets are made up with. And majority of the time, one letter can have up to, you know, 2, 3, even 4 different strokes, right? So see how it's so different from cursive writing. So if we get our minds off the cursive that we can't lift up our pen, then we'll know we can do it. Good coffee, good coffee. Now downstroke. Down, bold, down, bold. So if you have your voice, from up here to down, so you have to start from the top and down. So it's thick, it's big, it's bold, right? From the upstrokes, up, light, up, light, and do it even softer. So then when you're doing your drills, if you have that in your head, as May said, we'll have Marianne inside her head, then it'll help. Okay, so downstrokes are thicker. Oh, okay, let's do it this way. So now we're going to have the angle of the pen on the side, because see how the brush stroke, let me see if I can do, right? So I'm going to do on a different paper. So up is at a, up and down the pen. This one is down, because what's going to happen is we're going to press hard. So then that brush there, whether it's a thin one, a thick one, is going to bend. See how you saw that little tip bend? I don't know if I can zoom in. Ooh, look at that. My iPhone lets me zoom in really close. See how it's bending? See, and then more ink are coming out. And I wonder if I can do it this way so you can see it. Let me see if I can do it at a different angle. I'm going to be off camera for a second, so then you see. See? So you're using the side of the brush to create the broad strokes for your down. So here it's the thin one, and it's a top, up and down, and it's only the tip. It's only the tip of the pen. Up, light, down, bold. Up, light, down, bold. Okay? So let's zoom out a little bit for the downstroke. So it's at an angle. Use your grid if you have a grid paper, and putting a little bit more pressure on your pen or your brush marker, you are creating the thicker strokes. So let's compare it with I won't wreck my little drill, because I know I'm going to look back on this and go, that's not enough. That's not a downstroke. All right, so let's look at it with the thin. So some markers and some pens that you use, if their brush is not flexible enough, the thin and the thick strokes may not be. I'll show you with the Crayola washable marker. It's not distinguished. All right, so thin, up, downstroke, upstroke. See how now when we start to form these strokes together, that's what's going to create those beautiful hand lettering or calligraphy style letters. So this one was the Pentel brush sign pen, and I think we used the Fudonosuke. So Fudonosuke, and let's go. There we go. I think this is the black, might be the soft tip. I hope, I think it is. All right, and then that's the 2 grid size. But then if you want to make teeny tiny letters, then you're just going to make teeny tiny strokes. Right, what's the next one that we use? The Tombow Jewel brush pen. I'm going to use a different one so then you can see it a little bit more. So then, because see how the brush of this is a lot bigger, so the bend of it, you can even make it bigger strokes. Let's do 3 grid size, because then if you try and make little letters with a bigger brush, then the strokes start to squish in together. So you need to, bigger brush allows you to make bigger letters. Okay, how are we going? Are we following along? Let me know who in the chat is, thank you, Becca. I'm so glad you're here too. Who in the chat are following along with me? Did you just grab your markers and paper and markers and then hand lettering with me? Are you hand lettering with me? I'm going to zoom because my paper doesn't fit in, right? And then if you did want to create smaller ones, then just small strokes. Okay, so what was my chant? Big, down, bold. That's it. Down, bold, down, bold. Okay, so that one is the Tombow Jewel brush pens. What did I use next? Then I used the Silly Scents Crayola. Remember, this one is not a brush, so it's this pointy felt tip like tip. So let's see what it looks like. So with this one, see how you can create a thicker stroke as well versus the thin stroke that we made earlier. So up and down. Look at that. What? You can make hand lettering with good old Crayola pens that, from your kid's pencil case. Hey, and then how much are these things for 10? Cheap, right? But then you can create, and then once we start to form these strokes together, you will be amazed what you can do. And all it is going to take practice, because what it is, it's muscle memory. Right, because then you have to, at the moment, you have to think, oh, pen this way, up, that way, down, bold, up, light, down, bold, up, light, right? So it's all about muscle memory. So if you don't get it right away, it's not called perfection. It's called practice. Practice makes perfect. And even if it's not, it's called unique, right? Uniqueness. So that is the Crayola. Crayola. And then the other one I think I used was the thin ultra washable Crayola. Let's see how that one looks. So this one, because the tip is not flexible, you may not get the same, the thin and the thick may not be as different, but try and see if you can get it at an angle. All right, that's as thick as those downstrokes can go. So let's do a comparison for the thin. So maybe the thin, you just have to be very, very light on the paper. You can still see a big difference. And guess what? Crayola. Hello, zoom in. Crayola, ultra clean washable marker from your kids' pencil case. They probably got this already, or go have a look at your local stationery or back to school stuff. So there we are, 2 strokes so far. 2 strokes. Let's just quickly double check. Let me just show you the hopefully I don't go and make you dizzy with all the different ones. Okay, so let's see the difference between. So far, we have learnt 2 strokes. Oh, 2 zoom down. 2 strokes. Up stroke. Up, light. Down strokes. Down, bold. Up, light. Down, bold. Sound good? May. Following. Running back to get my tombos. Up, light. Down, bold. Up, light. Isn't that fantastic? We can make maybe a rap. Who here is a singer-songwriter? Make some rap. You go up, light, down, bold. Marianne has gone crazy at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okily dokily. 2. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, let's keep going. Marianne. But do you get now, once you start to get these fundamentals about the different strokes, you're going to then, because then the same way with the other strokes that we're going to cover, going up, it's light and thin. Going down is heavy and bold, okay? The next 2 strokes we have on our list is the overturn and the underturn. Overturn, underturn, over, under, over, under. Okily dokily. Elle's laughing at me. I love it. I'm glad that you're laughing with me. Huh? Yes. Okay, let's see that the my iPhone camera, I've got it on the charger as well, so it doesn't die on me. Overturn. So overturn, think of it as a tiny little bridge, right? Little bridge. Let's have a look. So the first one, let's use. So again, the Pentel brush pen. So overturn is combination of 2 strokes going up and down, over. Okay, so we're going to curve it at the top. So this is the fun one. I love this one because you're combining 2 strokes. So up, light, down, bold. Look at that. Up, light, down, bold. Up, light, down, bold. So over, right? So it's like a little over bridge. Now, sometimes I actually forget my little sing song. So I might do this. Oh no, right? Doesn't matter because even if you create a letter in, the thicker up and then lighter down, once all the letters are formed, no one would know because that's actually called embellishing or flourishing, where you break the rules. So, this is your basic fundamentals of the strokes. Understrokes, upstrokes, downstrokes, overturn, underturn are the fundamentals. And what do we do with rules? We can break them as much as we like if it's for our own personal use. Right, so you might want to go, I don't like the overturn with thin and then going down. I like it the other way. Do it your way, girl. As they say, all the young ones, you do you, girl, right? So this is the pentel. So thin, up, down, bold, up, light, down, bold. So that's the pentel. What did we use? Pentel. Let's do the Fudenosuke. I think the blue one is the hard tip. So up, up, down. Let's do a smaller one. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And you can even use, different tone in your voice and when you're doing it in your head. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Wonder if someone is watching going, what is that lady chanting? Right now we've got the Tombow Jaw brush pen. The brush tip is a lot thicker or longer and thicker, so you might want to look at doing a taller stroke or longer stroke. So we'll do 3 grids: up, down, up, down. I love that noise on the paper. You may not hear it because I've got the noise cancelling feature. See? So what's this called, everyone? Overturn. Overturn. So light going up, bold going down. It's all love. That's right. Of course, we love laughing here. In my head, oh yes, yeah, in your head. So happy to be learning the fundamentals. Exactly. And these basics are the things that will get you started. So we always have to start from somewhere, right? Because sometimes we might see a favorite planner who has already got some beautiful hand lettering headings for their planner, or this is great for if you're creating greeting cards as well. For us here in Australia, and I don't know if it's the UK as well, Mother's Day is in May. Is it the same everywhere? And so it's a nice little birthday cards or little signs, right? So next we're doing the Crayola Silly Scent. So again, this is not a brush tips, it's a felt tip. But then see, this one is going to be a little bit different because you're going to hold your pen this way, and then when you're going down, you're gonna turn it at an angle. Light up, turn down, because it's not a brush tip, so it's not it's not flexible. So see how I'm going to go upright first, and then see, this is when you, so maybe not upright. Okay, maybe this way a little, maybe it's not upright that because or else it's hard to turn it. Maybe instead of upright, just a little at a bend, and then you're going to go flatter. Let's try. See, this is why you do the drill, so then you get to know your tools, right? So whatever tools you have. Okay, I can't do it that way. I have to do it. So this is when probably the tools for certain things, you got to go and do it at a different angles. How did I do it? Oh, okay. I did press hard. Okay, so up and then press hard. This one I am pressing a lot harder on the marker because again, it is not flexible and technically it is not a brush pen. So again, let's do a bigger one. So really, I'm just getting the tip of that little felt tip, and then when I go down, I will press the side. I wonder if I can do it this way. I'm going to just go off camera again so then you can see it at this angle. See how it's just the tip of the felt tip? And then when I press, and then I'm grabbing that big angle there. So then if you do use different markers, let's say you want to use Crayola for one thing, you're then going to understand, you're going to get to know your markers, pens, and tools a lot better. And that one positioning for one marker may be a different positioning of your hand or wrist or the pen on the paper. So this is why it's called practice, and this is why it's called a drill. Running to get her Crayola. Uh-oh. Marianne, ma'am, will you give us an alternative to the supplies you're using for if we don't have the ones you're using? Yes, so these are all the different ones. So this one, the Crayola are international. You know, these are the kids' Crayola. So they come, this one, so if you just put Crayola pens, so this is the ones you would buy the kids. The kids would have for their school pencil case, right? And then the tip of it, it's not a brush. It's sort of like a felt tip. And this is very cheap. Very, very cheap. And then the other one, so this one, the normal washable tip, may not be as good to begin as a practice, because it's not going to allow you to create the different width of the strokes. So try and see. So I would go for this one. And then this one will allow you to practice big letters. So once we start putting these strokes together, you'll get to see how each of the markers and pens that I show you will look. So let me just put that aside. So we've done the Crayola, and then now let's do, did we do, yes, we did Tombow. So this one now is this one that I said, the ultra washable. So it's the kids one. It's the kids one. Oh, where am I? There, see? So it doesn't bend. See, there's no bend in the because it's not brush, it's felt tip. And then just be mindful when you are hand lettering, you are going to get ink and markers all over you. So overturn. Let's see what this does. Okay, so thin up, thick down. So you see how I pressed? And so this one I pressed really hard on the paper to create that much thicker, bolder line on the way down. So very lightly. So there's not a big difference in the different strokes, but there's still a distinct difference, right? So if you just start out with this is good enough for the smaller letters. So it might be difficult when you're trying to do big letters. So let's just say, that's still quite good. Look at that. So what are these? These are what? Probably, you know, here in the Australia, $10 for a pack of 24. So you'll get, so whatever it is, you might be surprised if you look at your pens and marker stash in the house now, you might have something like this. Try it out. Don't buy anything yet. Don't buy anything, because at the end of the day, you want to see first if this is something you like. You might go, what? I got to practice all the time? Ugh, I don't want to practice. Right. Why am I doing this today? One of the things that I am finding is creating a scheduled time off break that's apart from, you know, having coffee, going for a walk, deep breathing, stretching, you know, gratitude journaling. One of the things is just doing something that helps you focus on the now. Hand lettering allows you to be mindful, because what you're doing is you're concentrating on the pen touching the paper, up, light, down, down, bold, is you have to concentrate. And when you're concentrating and you're focusing the moment, that is called mindfulness. Mindfulness is not thinking and worrying about the past or worrying about the future. It gets you out of your head, down on paper, and that gives you space to then be able to go, what am I worried about? Okay, so that happened, you know, yesterday, but it's gone. I can't change it anymore, right? So mindfulness allows you to give yourself some space and grace and be kind to yourself. So, and not only that, is you're learning a new skill. You're learning how to create beautiful hand lettering in your style. Right? Watch other people, watch me do all this. But then once you start practicing, you go, you know what? I want to maybe do it on at an angle, or maybe I might want to do thick when going up instead of going down. You will be able to create your own style. Isn't that good? Running to get her Crayolas. Go, go, go. All right, so the underturn. Underturn is the opposite. So we're going to go down, bold, up, light, down, bold, up, light. Okay, let's go move this just a little bit. Let's start off again with the brush. All right, so the brush, so these might be a little bit more expensive compared to the, not expensive like it's unaffordable, but when you're starting out, don't be like Marianne and buy all the expensive ones right away, and then you might find out that you're not as good yet. And just to let you know, with the brush tip of the more, let's say, expensive, no, well, a bit more pricier one, the bristles of the brush tip, see how these got tiny little bristles? They're actually not felt tip. What happens is if you're using this on paper that's not smooth, let's say this rhodia, those bristles will start to fray. So something like a copy paper like this one, it's a little bit rougher. And then when you're doing your stroke, those bristles, because you're running it, it's not like sandpaper, but compared to a smooth paper, what will happen over time, those little brush tips, the bristles will fray, and then when they fray, they're not as pointy, because sort of like the little tiny little hairs on the brush sort of like comes out, and then you won't get your fine tip effect. Right, and then you might find when you're doing your strokes that, oh, it's a little bit sort of like feathery. I call them feathery. Hopefully that's the term that there is. Okay, underturn. Let's start off with the pentel. So this one we're going to go down. So down, bold, up, light. See, even I had to think what I was doing. So down, bold, up, light. All right, so the under, you can see that the stroke up, under is the way you're going to start it. Down, bold, up, light. Down, bold, up, light. Down, bold. Okay, let me just show you what it will look like if it is at an angle. Right, so if you like to write at an angle, it'll just be at whatever angle you want, maybe 45 or maybe 50 degrees. Whatever angle, your natural way you're writing. Down, bold, up, light. Down, bold, up, light. Right? So this one is a U. So try and make sure that when you're going, curving back up, that it's a nice U shape, because then later you'll be able to determine it when it's a V. See? It might be more pointy. So understroke is the bottom of it is curved, because this creates your little the side strokes of your A, your D, your I'm trying to think of all the letters. It forms N's, it forms so many letters, right? So what do we say? Down, bold, up, light. Down, bold, up, light. See how overturn and underturns are a combination of our upstrokes and downstrokes. Okay, so let's look at the tombow. So the tombow, again, remember, it's a lot thicker brush, so you can create bigger letters. So down, bold, up, light. Down, bold. So these drills, what it does is it helps your muscle memory. All right, so even now as I'm talking, I have to stop and think, oh, what is it again? Oops, sorry everyone, sorry. That's that one. What else? The Podenosuke. Furunoshoke. Oh, the Furunoshike, I do also have the double-ended. So you've got one side is gray, and then the other side is the black. The tip is a lot smaller. So if you want to create smaller hand lettering, then you might want to get smaller brush. Okay, so let's do, is this the gray? So then if it's smaller, let's say just one grid. Down, bold. And I like this one because the bristles are soft. That's it. Okay, there we go. So the softer one is easier if you start, you're a newbie, because then you're not having to put as much pressure on the paper because the brush will do a lot of the bending for you. But then some people, I think the blue one, did we say the blue one? Hello, blue one. Oh, it's hiding. It's hiding over there. All right, the blue one is the harder tip. Yep, so it's the blue one. The bristle isn't as flexible. So then you have to put a little bit more pressure. Actually, I don't know which one the experts say to start with. You know what? For you, at the moment, it doesn't matter which brush pen because it's the drill. Right? So don't buy yourself, because what will happen is, like I said, if you were like me that bought all the expensive markers before you started doing the drills, is you get frustrated with yourself because you now have an expensive brush, but then you don't have the fundamental and the basics down pat yet. So then what happens is you get frustrated because, oh, it doesn't look like what all the other beautiful hand letterings out there. So just start off with what you have right now. Double check all your markers. Go look through all your drawers, you know, those junk drawers. Have a look, and just start off with one and do the different drills, because I'd hate for you to think that your tool is the thing that will make you good at hand lettering. It'll help it afterwards if you have the basics. So overturn, light up, down, bold. Okay. Oh, look, we're already on the 52-minute mark, and we still have lots of strokes to go. So hopefully you can stick with me, because I'm going to keep going. Now, do be mindful, my kitchen will start to get a little bit noisy because we have to, the boys have to get ready for their breakfast. So just bear with me. I may have to put some music on if it gets too noisy, but do let me know if it's not bugging you. Just go, Marianne, it's not bugging me. And then the underturn is down, bold, up, light. So under, like a U, over like a little thin rainbow. Okay, and then remember, these strokes that you start to use, you can have them thin, like squished together. Let me see which one do we want to use. Let's use this one. Okay, you can have them squished, or you can have them nice and separated. So then, of course, if it's separated, you're going to get like longer letters, yeah. And then if it's close together, then you go, oh yeah, that's right, then you're going to get thinner and really thin letters, maybe tall and thin. Or if it's wide, then you're going to get sort of like rounder letters. So again, play around with it. Once you start putting these strokes together, you're going to see that it's going to create different lettering styles for you. All right. So let's have a look. What are we? We got upstrokes, downstrokes. Oh, I didn't change. Sorry. For those watching, I didn't change you're probably going, Marianne, you got your title wrong. So that was the overturn and underturn, because I was having too much fun. The next two, these are the fun ones. So they might be a little bit harder, but that's all right, because we're starting to practice. Now, when you do practice your drills, for me, this is the way I'm going to practice my drill is in between projects. I'll work for 25 minutes. I'll put my timer on, and then I give myself a 5-minute break in between. This is called the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes. Then once the timer goes off at 5 minutes. So what I was finding in my 5-minute break is I'll do my deep breathing. I'll drink water, I'll get up from my desk, I'll stretch, and then maybe do a gratitude, write something that I'm thankful for and use my gratitude journal. And then I'll still have 3 minutes left on my timer. And then what happens is I'll go back to work while still having 3 minutes left on my timer. And no, the whole point of a break is to have a real break. Right? Not like, oh, okay, I've had a break, 1 minute. Oh, okay, yep, that's enough breathing. Enough mindful journaling, blah, 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 right? No, the 5 minute allows you to refresh, reset. So then when you get back to work, cognitively, your brain isn't burnt out or is not going to burnt out. So that is why I thought, well, what's one way? What is a great break that I know I will enjoy that is going to bring mindful? And I went, you know what, Marianne, you've got all the tools. You've got the paper that you bought from a long time ago. I bought this in 2017, and look, I haven't used it, right? Because I gave up thinking that I wasn't good at hand lettering, when in actual fact, I just haven't practiced. Okay, so it's important that for you to get good at the craft that you have, that it is all about practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, so compound curve, it's like a little snake. If you think of it as a little snake, we are now combining up, light, down, bold, up, light. What is going on, Marianne? Too many. But remember, once you get those 4 strokes down pat, you can move on to this one. So try not to go on to this one if you haven't got the muscle memory yet for the first 4 strokes. So we are going to go and have a look. So up, light, down, bold, up, light. Let's see if I can do this on a darker ink. All right, so up, light, down, bold, up, light. See, it's like this little sideways S, or back to front sideways S. So maybe you can make some funny noise instead. So whatever you need to do to try and figure out how to do your compound. Oh, let's change the heading so no one gets confused. So if you are watching, please, yes, I do know my underturn heading was not correct. So, okay, so up, down, up. Oh, see that one? It's like, oh, I went too light. Up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up. All right, the kitchen's starting to get noisy, so do let me know if it does get noisy, and then I will put on some music. Okay, so let's do the Tombow dual brush pans. Up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, I think it might be, let me see if we can put some music in the background. Up, down, up, and then you can have it squishy, you can have it wide. Let's see what the sense. I'm just going to put I'm going to be on mute for a little bit, but having your head up, down, down. Yeah, my younger son's awake, and so he's on the autism spectrum, and so when he wakes up, he needs his sensory processing movement, so he is jumping up and down a lot, and of course the kitchen's going on. But look, if you're fine with it and you can't hear it, I do have the echo cancelling Hi, Robin. I will have to rewatch to finish. My lunch is over. I was so glad to catch up with you live. Have a good day. You too, Robin. Yes, so come back and you'll be able to see the upstrokes and downstrokes. Thank you so much for joining me, okay? I'll see you again soon. All right, so compound curve is up, light, down, bold, up, light. Ah, so the music is okay, but then the background, just to let me know. Thank you, Elle. So up, light, down, bold, up, light, up, light, down, bold, up, light. So see how different markers and different size brush will give you different effects. So what else have we've used? Oh, and let's have a look at the thin one. So this one is the ultra washable Crayola. So again, not flexible. Let's see if I have a different color that's not frayed. So that one's a little bit better. He doesn't use the purple one as much. I had to borrow this one from his pencil case. So up, light, down, bold, up, light. Hey, that's still pretty good. Look at that. That is still pretty good, right? So you might just have to press a little bit harder, and then you might even have to just use it for let me just the music in my head, in my earphone, is competing with my voice, and I can't hear myself talk. And then so what was I saying? Yeah, so with the Crayola one, you might have to use this one for smaller writing, because then if you're gonna create bigger writing, you may not be able to distinguish as much between the light thin strokes and the thick down strokes. Okay, so but you still look at that. I'm going to show you, once I put all the strokes together, words that we can use for. Like, majority of the time, the things I'm going to be hand lettering are days of the week, months of the year, to do, tasks, notes. So there are certain headings that I'm going to use in my planner that so those are the ones I'm going to start off with practicing. And then later you can practice names, or hello, congratulations, if you want to create and write quotes, plenty of different stuff. Looks like my granddaughter will be sharing. Thank you, granddaughter, for sharing it with grandma, because we want to start off with what we have. And then once you start to build your skill, then you know what? Here's the thing. Start off with the basic foundations and strokes using with what you have, because it'll help you do your muscle memory. Once you keep doing your drills and you get better and good at it, reward yourself with maybe one of these ones. All right, so this is the Fudenosuke jewel tip. So if you go in my description in the Amazon storefront, now it is the US one, but you can go and flick through if you have Amazon in your country, or just go look on Google, and then you might have local stockists in the country you're at, that then shipping and all that might be a little bit cheaper. But maybe getting a jewel, here we go, the jewel tip one, or is it? Does it have the English name? No. Tombow, but yeah, so the jewel tip, and this is nice soft one. And then this is if you're creating smaller letters, but if you're going to create beautiful big letters, you might want to get the bigger brush tips. So up, light, down, bold, up, light. Okay, so start off with what you have. Don't be like Marianne and think that the more expensive brush pens will magically make your hand lettering beautiful on the page. Hello, Irene. The budgeting mama is here. How are you? Hope you're well. And thank you so much for joining me. So now we have done 5 strokes. We've got 3 more, so I'm going to be here a little bit longer than normal. Thank you so much if you can stay. If you can't, that's all right. Better catch you on the replay though, and let me know in the comment section that you've come back on the replay. So then the next one we're going to do is oval. Oval, oval, oval. So oval makes your O's, makes the first part of your A's, your C's, your D's, your G's, and parts of your ears. All right. So let's have a look. Let's start off with the pentel brush tip, because that's what we've been starting with. So now this one is a little bit different because you sort of got to go sideways a little bit when it comes to the circle part. So you start here at the sort of like the top of your page. We're going to do 2 grid size, so then that way it's a lot easier to see. And then see how you're going sideways rather than up and down. So then when you are using your brush and you're pressing down, it's going sideways. Let me see if I do it at this angle. Once again, I'll be off camera, so then you can see the tip of the brush tip hand. All right, so start at the top and then press down and lightly up. So see how that side is thicker than that side. So this one, it is a little bit harder for me to explain because you're not going up and down. See how the brush went up and down, you see it bending, but when you're doing the O, you got to go sort of like sideways bend. So it's sort of like the angle is, so it's like as if you're skewing, you know, like the X's, right? So sideways. Let's do it what it looks like if it is at an angle. So press hard on your marker and then highlight on the way back up. And don't worry if your letters are not all the same form yet. There's actually called like flourishing, where you make it so then your letters are all on different parts of the line, and then that in itself is a skill. All right, so the next one I'll have is the Tombow Jewel brush pens. So once again, these are bigger brush tips, so then you're going to create bigger letters with it. So let's do up and down O first. Start at the top. Can you see how the brush is bending? So start at the top and then press down. Now with the O's, because you are going around, make sure you give yourself enough space. All right, so again, this is where your practice and your drill practice will come in. You'll get to know how far off to the right-hand side of the page you need to go for the O to fit in, or else what will happen, let's say you're here. Oh no, my O's are now squished, okay? Or my A's. So that one, let's do the Crayola Silly Sense. So again, not a brush, but if this is what you have on hand, you can still do it. Start at the top and then press down and lightly up. Press down and lightly up. Press down and lightly up. So the thickness and the thinness is still obvious. But then if you want to make it probably even bigger, that might make it even better. Look at that. So once we start putting these strokes together, you're going to be amazed that, what, all that time I can do hand lettering? What I might also later down the track is you can do what's called faux hand lettering, where you manipulate your writing, where you're actually just writing normal, but then you're going to create the thin strokes by just thickening the edges or the thickness of your writing. Hey, that changed. All right, so if you want the little O, lightly. So this one is, remember, the Crayola marker, so it's not flexible, so then you have to really press hard on your paper to create the thicker stroke on the page. What do we think so far? Are we good? Let's have a look what everyone is saying. Everyone's welcoming Irene, the budgeting mama. See? So if you are new to my channel, don't be scared to say hello in the chat because we are a very welcoming bunch. I will be creating a new playlist for this lovely video. Oh, yes, please. Thank you, Becca. Thank you. So yes, make sure that if you are new to my channel, you are new in the chat or new in the comment section, do make sure you say hello because my lovely plannerette community will welcome you. All right, let's just quickly have a look at the top down shot. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna go off camera for a tick because I'll go wipe my nose because my nose is a little bit runny and that is something you guys don't need to see. Oh, yay, Marsha. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's have a what am I trying to say? A review of what we have. So if you need to go back and have a look at the different tips that I've told you, or you go back but apart from the understroke, I didn't label it correctly on the screen, but that's okay. All right, let's have a look. Upstrokes. Upstroke is you start from the bottom and you go up. What was that song? See, I've forgotten. See, may have forgotten the song that down bold. That's it. Up light, up light. So you start from the bottom and you go up, and you down strokes. Down stroke is you start from the top and go down, down bold, down bold. So you're putting a lot of pressure on the page to create that thick strokes. And then we have what's called the overturn. Let me remove this so then that way I am not confusing anyone who's coming in. Overturn, so as the name suggests, you're going to go over. So up, light, down, bold. Up, light, down, bold. And the understrokes, right? So just like the beginning of the letter, you're going to create a U. So down, bold, up, light, down, bold, up, light. So that's one continuous movement. Make sure the bottom of it is curved like a U. And then we have what's called compound curve. So it is up, light, down, bold, up, light, up, light, down, bold, up, light. So when you're going up, thin stroke and lightly press on the page. When you're going down, it's heavy and bold and thicker. And then, of course, the oval one. So the oval one is you start at the top. So like if you can think of your face, right? You're starting at the apex of the top of the head, and then you're going to go down, nice and heavy on your page with your marker, and then lightly going up to the other side of the O. So you're going to go top of the head, down to the side, and up on the other side. Top of the head, down, up. See, you can create whatever sing-song in your head you want to be able to go and do these different strokes. Okay, now we're going to go into the last two. But before I go to the next two strokes, have you hit that like button? Is it there? Tap that like button if you're having a good time. Of course, it goes a very, very long way because it tells me you're enjoying my video, and it also tells YouTube you're enjoying my video. And when you're enjoying my video, YouTube shows it to more people, and then they come and we grow our lovely community. So make sure. So you've got two. There is a heart on the chat box, but there is also a like button. I'm going to see if I can point to it because I'm watching it on the side. There's a thumbs up and a thumbs down button next to where you see under here. Okay, so make sure you hit that like button because then it tells me, even though really these vanity metrics shouldn't matter, but our brain works that way, that we like to be part of a community and that people like us. Okay, yes, it does. It shouldn't matter, but unfortunately it does for a lot of people like me that sometimes need that validation. So that's just my own anxiety, but I'm working on it. Okay, dokely. So if you haven't yet hit the like, make sure you do. And of course, if you're new here like Becca, Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get notified of when I upload. Majority of the time, I am here on a Monday, my Monday Sydney time morning live stream. For a lot of you, it's your Sunday afternoon or evening. So just do that bell, and then they're going to tell you. And here's a little tip too. Because the planning, hand lettering, all these beautiful creative craft community are so lovely, right? I have found, I think this is Erin Signs, or Sarah Ensigns, Ensign at Ensign Insights. She has on her YouTube, but go visit her. But make sure you come back to me. Don't leave me, because she's the like expert. She has a free printable that tells you all the different, and so you can have a drill practice if you need lines. So you print this out and you go and she shows you the different ways of this different style. So make sure I look for a printable download that you can practice on, because us newbies need all the help we can get, right? And she also has a free lines that you can practice on if you don't have a paper grid like mine. But once again, go get those exercise books. So the exercise books, you know, the school books that you find, because they are a lot rougher paper. Oh, hello there. A lot rougher paper. If you have those expensive brush tip markers, then it's going to make the bristles, what am I trying to say? Fray, right? So it's going to make the frays. So awesome tutorial. Thank you, Becca agrees. Thank you so much. Elle says, I noticed the like numbers are different from TV to phone to device. Yes, because I think it's all the way it gets noted, so some may be delay. Well, hello there, my friend Marcus. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. So make sure you also visit Marcus. Marcus, if you are a budding YouTuber and you're in your own head and sometimes can't press that record yet, or can't make that leap or the jump, Marcus's channel is really good to get that yourself, that fear out of them. Excellent. I love it. May says hello. Hi, Marianne and chat. Hi. Oh, beautiful. This is great. Oh, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. And Katie, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. So now let's go look at the last two. Is this the last two? Last two. So if you're still here with me, wow, I appreciate you. I normally only go for an hour because normal school time and work time, the kitchen is a buzzing. But if you guys are fine and you can't hear the bacon sizzling, I can smell the bacon sizzling. Then I am so happy that it's not too distracting. So ascending loop and descending loop. So these are the things that make the letter F, and then the little loops for your G's, your Y's, your J's. So many different things that these will come in. Excellent. I love it. All right. So let's go back to my phone camera so then we can see it at an angle and tumies. We're doing tumies. All right. So let's go the ascending. Let's start off again with the pentel. So then that way you have the different options. So smaller brush. So let's say 2 grid high for this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to go so this is for like maybe your top of your H's and your F's. So what's gonna happen is we're going to loop, right? So lightly up and down, bold. So it's like a squished pea, like letter P, that is, not the vegetable. So this one is lightly up and down, bold. 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 And then let's use a dual brush tip pen. I'm trying to do different colors so you can see. So lightly up, down, bold. Lightly up, down, bold. So see how now with the thicker markers, you have to actually make sure that you go a little bit wider so then it's not squished in. So let's say this one, a little bit wider. And so I'm creating bigger strokes. Okay, so this one is the jaw brush tip marker. And then we looked at the Crayola Silly Sense with the felt tip, so it's not a brush. So lightly and down, lightly and down. So if you have to use different voices to be able to know what type of strokes you need to do, okay? And then the Fudenosuke, this one I think is the soft. Let's do it at an angle. So lightly and down, lightly and down, lightly and down. Okay, so as you're going up on that little curve here, you go, because it's an upstroke, remember, up, down. So you can even move your body. So it's like a little bit of a dance, right? While you're riding, you can move your body. So start here and then go up and then down. You can even have a frown on your face. So then until you get that muscle memory. So for those of you watching and then start to do the drills with me, you're someone watching in on the outside might go, what is that lady or that guy doing? Right, and then the other one, so the washable, oh, not that one, the Crayola that you might just find in your kid's little pencil case. So remember, it's not a brush tip, it's a felt tip and it's pointy. So lie down, lie down. So this one, because the felt tip is not bending, it's giving you more resistance because you are putting that pressure on the paper. And then if your marker is already sort of like frayed, then the difference between the light strokes and the down strokes may not be as obvious. But that's okay, because all we're doing at the moment is practicing our drill. And of course, I forgot my banner. That was the ascending loop, everybody. That's called the ascending loop. We're going to go to the descending, not lop. No, it's not the descending lop. Let's have a look. How do I edit this thing? How do I edit it? Let's edit, oops, the lop. Edit the lop. Edit the loop. There we go. Let's see if that works. Descending loop. Not descending lop. Let's do the, okay, so this one is the opposite. So this one is your, like your little hooks or tails of your G's, your Y's, your J's. Oh, here we go. Yes, Katie's got a good tip here. Ooh, dance riding. That's right. Dance riding. Up, down, up, down. Katie says, does it help to follow the stroke with your voice when you learn it? Love the facial expression. Yes, and then that's also a really great way for you to go and put it all together. Your movement, you're moving your body, your muscle memory for your hand and your wrist, and then also your facial expressions. You know, the lap, the lop. That's right. So we're now doing the descending lop. Yes, it does help, because then it's any additional help while we're doing our drills is going to be helpful. So the descending, this is descending loop or descending lop. So this one we're going to go down stroke, and the little loop is on the other side. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, or if you want to do it at an angle, down, up. So this is like the little hook for your G's, your Y's, your J's. Okay, down, up, down, up. All right. Are you getting excited that we're going to put all of these together in a second? Okay, now let's do the brush, Tombow Jaw brush pen. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so again, try and practice these different strokes like, you know, do half a page for one, and then, because then if you swap and change before you establish the muscle memory, you'll start to confuse yourself. So start off first with the upstrokes one day and just do that. Just know that when you're going up, you're going light. When you're going down, you're going bold. Okay? So this one is the Crayola Silly Sense. Down, up, down, up. See how pretty that looks? And then later on, once you start getting these basic fundamentals down, is what you're going to do is to be able to, you know, do those what they call flourish, right? You can go, ooh, look at that, right? You can flourish, do creative flourishes, right? So down, up, and ooh, like little tails, and you can have so much fun with it. Let's just do the Crayola Ultra washable one. So this is not a brush tip, but it is and it's not bendable, it's not so flexible, but let's see how it goes down very lightly on the page. Let's see if I can do this at this angle. I'm running, it's a big piece of notepad, so I'm running out of space on my desk. So down, and so really you're lifting up your pen, so it's just barely touching the paper when you're going up, 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 up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the 8 strokes of hand lettering. Let's put them together. Now I'm going to go do the top down shot, so then that way but go back, would look at, watch the shots that have it on an angle, so then that way you can see how the pen is and your wrist is positioned. And remember, it's all going to be the way you write naturally. So if you find that when you're going up the pen is at an angle, then do it your way. But it's just really not, it's about going and doing the strokes together. So what did we learn? Which pen should I use? I'm just going to use the jewel tip. So this one is the Fudonosuke Tombow jewel tip. Let's zoom in a bit so we can go have a look. So what do we have? We have upstroke and downstrokes. Let's now remove this out of the way. So let's put some things together, right? And then we have the overturn, and then the underturn. And then we have the compound curve, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then we have the underturn. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, there's 2 there. We have the oval. Squish, thin on one side. Squish and thin on the other side. Squish and thin. Squish and thin. Whatever sing-song you will use, you can do that. The other one is ascending. So this one is lightly and down. Up, down. Am I focused? Up, down, up, down, and then the descending loop or loop. Down, curve, down, curve, down, curve. Now let's make A, right? Well, let's do just the 3, A, B, C. So A essentially, all right, is a curve, an oval plus a, what's this one? Underturn. Okay, so curve, lift up your pen, because hand lettering is not about keeping your pen on the page. It's stroke per stroke by stroke. And then an underturn. It's the letter A. B is the, I think B, see, people have different B's. So I'm just going to start off with the downstroke. And then this one, you can either do an oval or Again, some rules are like different for different letters. So this one, it's like that one. See, there's no particular stroke, but because you're getting the basics, you know that when you go up, it's thinner. When you're going down, it's thicker and more pressure. C is like half an oval, and right, so you don't continue the whole O. So let's do Monday. All right, so if this is how I do Monday, other people might do Monday differently. I do a downstroke, I do an overturn, I do another overturn, and then I have a little sort of like a compound kick there. So always try to make sure that your letters join. Make the last stroke a little bit higher, so then when you do your O, it looks like they are joining together. And then I just do a little line like that one. Downstroke, overturn, and just a little kick, oval, downstroke, kick, and then oval, downstroke, kick. I'll call that a little kick. So it's like that little underturn, but sort of like not all the way. So some people might do it all the way, because when you join up the letters, then it's okay. So this one is underturn for the Y, and we have the descending loop. Monday. All right, so let's do Tuesday. So Tuesday will be an underturn, little line, an underturn, and then a underturn. Now E is a little bit different, because you got to go and do, so sort of like a ascending loop, but just instead of a long one, it's a shorter one. So and then S could be, so again, S is sort of like not part of any of the strokes. So you got to figure out how you want to do your S's. So you can just do your S like that. Sometimes I'll show you a different S, and then an oval, right? A downstroke, an oval, a downstroke, an understroke, and then a descending loop. So the other Tuesday I would do, so let's do it on an angle so you see a difference. So the underturn might be a little bit higher for the T, so not the same length. T, understroke, downstroke, little E. And then sometimes the S, I'll do like a thin one going up, and then downstroke, and then just do like a little flourish. Oval, downstroke with a tail. So then you'll get to know, because you've done your drills, because remember, all these strokes to create the letters are just all the different strokes. Different strokes for different folks. Let's do Wednesday. So a lot of times it's just the days of the week and the months of the year and to-do tasks. So, and then you can start to create like little tails. So understroke, understroke. E is sort of like a little ascending loop, but not so straight. Wednesday, oval, a downstroke, and what do you get? Downstroke, upstroke or overturn. Wednesday. I'm gonna run out of space. Wednesday. All right, so we'll pretend that that's all the way to day. Okay, so then you start to add your own little embellishments. Let's do hello. All right, so hello is a downstroke, and then also an overturn, right? Or a compound curve. It's up to you. But I always try to add that little tail up so the letters are all joining, and then sort of like an ascending loop with a curve, downstroke or understroke. So you can do whatever, but then when you start to join the letters, just add that little bit of line, so then it goes and joins up. So it's hard for me to do and talk, but then you might go, oh, I don't like that. I don't like the way the L looks. Then you can go and use a ascending loop. So this is just your Crayola. Oop, okay. Overstroke, E, pressing down hard. And then see how here I did sort of like a downstroke. Maybe you want to do an ascending loop instead. So then it has that little curve. And then you will go, oh, Marianne, this seems hard, right? But because you practice all your upstrokes, downstrokes, right? Up, 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 down, 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 overturn, underturn, compound curve, oval, ascending loop, descending loop, right? Because you're practicing, right? So while you're watching TV, up, 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 down, 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 overturn, overturn, underturn, underturn. Right, so you practice, 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 and then all you do is like all right, so let's do, so Marianne, you can do M either as a downstroke and then an overturn, overturn. Let me do a different marker because this doesn't give you a really distinct difference between the curves. Okay, so downstroke, overturn, overturn. Right, so Marianne, I'm going to write Marianne. Now, R is a little bit different, so you might have to check. Go on Pinterest and see how different letters are formed. And then you'll go to discover that, oh, I like the way that letter is formed better than that, you know, formed. So yeah, so you get to practice. So see how the M I did downstroke and then overturn, but you can also do it with a compound curve. So you could go, oh no, not compound curve, an overturn. See, I'm getting my names all mixed up. So before I did the stroke, overturn, and then that was Mary M. Okay, or you could go overturn, 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 and then you can do M that way. Or some people will do the, oh no, you can't do compound curve because it doesn't work. I can hear my alarm going off, so bear with me. No, it must be someone else's alarm. Oh, it's the alarm on my phone. All right, so there we are, right? And then what you do is then you just put all these strokes together. So let's say D is an oval and a downstroke. So these things here with the downstrokes, you may need to start adding tails for the letters to join together. So, and then also you might want to make sure that the strokes aren't too close together. So this one I made the too close. You might want to do it a little bit further away, so then you get to really see the distinct difference between the lines. So that's F is an understroke, and then I do a little, that's how I do an F. So some letters you might have to have the combination of the strokes, you might have to go, oh, what combination? So some of them break the rules. F, G is an oval with a descending loop. H, downstroke and an overturn with a tail. I, J, K might be a little bit different. I'll just do K that way sometimes. So K, it breaks some of the rules. K, L, or L could have the, what is this? Ascending loop. Well, L, M, N. O is easy. I do a little tail. O could also have the little flourish of O. Look at that, O. P could be the descending loop with an oval. and just a little tail. I don't like it, that one. So I just do some of them. Some I do some flourish, you know. So my L's, I like the L's sometimes with, I like my L's. Hello, L, with a little loop at the top. And sometimes I just have it like a downstroke. Q, O, P, just rubbing my nose and drinking water. O, P, Q is an oval with a little, see the tail goes the other way. Q, R is a little bit different. So upstroke and then this sort of like little line and then downstroke. R, or some people will do like with a little loop like that. R, S, so S, remember I said you can do whatever S you like. S, S. So you're going to, and remember different combinations. You can have ones with loops, ones without loops. So my D, so the D here, sometimes I'll do it on a, because at an angle. So a D, I can, oh, so what is it? Down. See, sometimes I forget too, you know, the fundamentals. So D, I'll do an ascending loop like that, or sometimes I'll just do a straight downstroke. So whichever one you like, it's going to be up to you. Practice, because then sometimes what happens is when you start to put the letters together and the strokes to make your letters is, you know, one word, this type of D may look too flourishy, but then another word you like this one. So you can mix the different ways you write the different letters, and then it doesn't have to be all the same, right? You can just go, let's say hello. Okay, so hello, let's say this one. You can do hello this way. All right, that way, or you can do hello this way, running at it with an ascending loop, and then with your L could have the little loop, and then your O, you can either have it just like that, or you can make it go like that. You can play around with it with whatever you like. So where's my mouse? I think my mouse has died. There it is. What do we think? Do we like? Love that. Quite a mindful task. Very much so. And that is why, Katie, if you are still here, that I am starting to do these hand lettering drills to start off with as part of the breaks that I take in between a project. I've lost the lid for this one. I want to make sure that I don't have it here. I don't go on my little felt cover on my desk. Looks awesome. Thank you, Marcius. Oh, looks awesome. I love it. Likes very much. Okay, so let's see what I had on the back of this. What did I practice before? Okay, so remember, hand lettering is different to cursive writing. Cursive writing, you're not lifting up your pen, and then the pressure you put on the page is all the same. Hand lettering is stroke by stroke. You're lifting up your pen or your marker as you create each and every stroke, and then you can have all your letters all the same width or length, or what they call flourish. So let's see if I can flourish away. So let's say with me could be your normal me like this, right? So they're all, the height is at the same, or you can have, see how the can all like at different heights. Let's do, so hello, just a normal hello if you're just starting out. And then once you start practicing your strokes and creating different letters and different words, you're going to get your own visually for you. You know, it's going to be all like different ways. You can start up here and then have the L down here and then have the O up there. See, that one for me, I wouldn't like it. Someone might like that. But whatever your eye says is good for you, then that is great. Thank you so much for this lesson. Thank you, May. I do appreciate it. So, what have we learned today? We have learned up strokes, down strokes, overturn, underturn, compound curve, oval, ascending loop, descending loop. 8 basic strokes foundations that you can start practice, right? Practice the drills first before you start creating letters, because then you just want to get that muscle memory done. Now, what did I say I was going to put on here? Yes, so if you need to know what sort of paper thickness to get for different whether you're printing your planner insert printable or you're using markers that you don't want to bleed or ghost on the other side of the page, I do have a video showing the best paper to use, and I talk about GSM. When you see GSM on a weighted paper, it is gram per square meter. And in that video, and I'll have here a little bit later on when the live stream's all processed, that will tell you the different types of paper. So if you go, oh, the paper that I use, it bleeds through to the other side, and now I've wrecked the other side of my planner pages. Thickness of the paper do make a big difference. Thank you, Marianne. We have learnt so much from our wonderful teacher. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you all so much. So what you need to do today, whether you are thank you, Becca. I'm so happy you're here, and thank you for joining us for the first time ever. Now you are a plannerette. I don you a plannerette now, but part of the plannerette community. Now, whether you are using hand lettering drills as part of your break, part of your mindfulness, it is important that you schedule in break. You know how they always say, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. The reason why I wanted to do this for myself as well as show you is I know the benefit that taking a break has on my mind, my emotions, my stress level goes down, because what it does is, when your computer overheats and then it slows down and you've got that whirling little visual on your computer, what do we do for our computer? We turn it off, let it cool, and then we turn it back on. Even like IT people, wait 20 seconds, wait 60 seconds before you're turning it back on. Why are we doing that for the hardware, for our devices, yet we forget to turn off, let ourselves cool down, let ourselves have a rest, let ourselves reset, right? We do it for everything else. We turn things off, we turn things, reset, we restart, we shut down, yet we forget to do it for ourselves. So this is a great opportunity for you not only to learn a new skill, practice a skill, create beautiful hand lettering, headings for your planner, for your greeting cards, but it is a great way for you to take the time off, me time, and enjoy something that brings you joy and also build that skill. I appreciate you. I love you all for being here. Thank you so much. And show me your hand lettering. If you're on Instagram, follow me at Marianne Crest and let me know, tag me or show me on DM how you're doing with your drills. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.